So the other day, I decided to go back and listen to the great record Bags N Trane with Milt Jackson, John Coltrane. And I put on the tune Three Little Words, which is an up-tempo standard, not a tune that a lot of people play anymore these days. And the thing that I remembered about this track was that Coltrane plays a really great solo. It's a long one, maybe 5 or 6 choruses. Milt Jackson plays a great solo. But what I had completely forgotten about until I put it on again was this. That is the lovely touch of Hank Jones, who's playing piano on this session. By the way, it's also Paul Chambers on the bass and Connie Kay playing drums. This intro is just awesome. It sets up such a sprightly, crackling rhythm section, and you hear how they come right in at the downbeat. That's one of the things I like about playing intros compared to counting off a tune. It's a really great way to have a musical count into a tune rather than somebody just being like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, or even worse, I can't feel that. This I can feel. And so look who's here again. Every time I'm going to play this intro on the vibraphone, I'm going to explain how it's put together so that you can go home and practice it for yourself and try to incorporate Hank Jones's masterful phrasing into your own playing. Everything Hank Jones plays is of value to us here on the vibraphone. So the first thing I'm going to do is take his left-hand chord voicings and adapt them to the vibraphone. So you can see there that he plays really open shell voicings, and he had huge hands to be able to reach that interval with one hand on the piano. That is really something. And on the vibraphone, it sounds really cool. We have E minor 7, and he just goes root 7, 3. And then he takes it down a half step to E flat minor 7. Then to D minor 7, which of course is a start of a 2, 5, 1. And for the G7 chord, I listened to it a bunch of times, and the best I can guess is that he either moves his hand back up and plays the exact same 3 notes that he played on the E minor 7, this, or he just plays the top 2 of those. And I really couldn't decide which one he was. You can decide for yourself which one you think he's playing there. But either way, the voicing works. And that would serve as the 5 chord. Then we have basically a 1, 6, 2, 5 chord progression. However, the 6 has been replaced by its tritone substitute. So instead of getting C, A, D, G at the end, we get C, E flat, D, G. And he basically uses the same shell voicing over all of them. Root 7, 3. So C major 7, E flat dominant 7, D7, and then for the last G7, I think he just plays this, actually, the root in the 3rd. Now let's take a look at what he does on the right hand. Let's break it down. The first phrase, obviously this is the E minor 7 chord, which is the 3 in the key of C major. So we're really just using the upper part of a C major scale here. But even more specifically, he's orienting it around kind of a G position if it's, on the piano. So if you're sort of picturing this little interval from G up to D, that's sort of where he's playing around in there. Also nice rhythmic phrasing too, some good syncopation, strong time. Then on the E flat minor, he plays this, which is of course an enclosure around the root, starting from the 9 to the major 7 to the root, and then up the scale, and then a classic bebop little fragment, 5, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3. Then on the D minor chord, he plays a really great bebop 2-5-1 line. So we start on the G, which is the 11th on the D minor. He goes chromatically down to the 3rd, down then to the 5th, and up 5, 7, 9. That's a very common shape to see on a minor 7 chord or a minor 9th chord. And then a chromatic enclosure that ends up on the D. And when it's played in time, it pushes the resolution from the E to the D over a beat, which is another way of increasing tension. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Then from there we go, which of course is the G7 flat 9. This is the 3rd, flat 9, 7th, moving chromatically up to the G, which is the root on the G7, but then becomes the 5th on the next chord, C major. So again, that whole line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Then at the end we have what I described before as the 1, 6, 2, 5, just with a tritone sub for the 6. And it's very simple. He plays a C major triad, then connects it to the upper part of an E flat 9 chord, 9, 7, 5, 3, and then connects that to a D9 chord. And if you imagine the 3, 5, 7, 9, but he doesn't play these two. He just skips from here to here and then goes down to the 7th on the G7. It's the same voicing. And then resolving on the 3rd of the C major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Really fun stuff. So the whole phrase played slowly sounds like this. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to see if I can play the chords in the first 3 bars and combine it with the right hand, just like Hank Jones did on the piano. I think that's about as close as I'm going to get. It's really hard, but it's really fun. And the next thing I would do, honestly, is start playing this line in other keys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Look over there. Look over there. Look at the camera up here. See? Up here. Huh? See? Say hi.